Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the NCAA Football 08 Dynasty Mode explanation. We are reviewing week number 2, and I'm just going to review the key games. And starting off with Navy and Rutgers. Navy just got demolished by the Scarlet Knights 14 to 56. And next for each team, Team Navy is going against Ball State. So another MAC team that already beat Temple, the first MAC team that they faced off against, which was the first key game of the series. And for Rutgers, for week number 3, they're going against Norfolk State, an FCS school, so easy win for them. They're going to stay in the top 25 easily. And for Notre Dame and Penn State, that was a back and forth game. And Notre Dame actually had the lead 20 to 17 heading into the fourth quarter. Both teams scored 2 touchdowns, but it was too little too late for Penn State. Final score being 34-31 in favor of the Fighting Irish, in which the Fighting Irish for week number 3 are going against number 2 Michigan. Could be a key game. Stay tuned in the next episode for week 3, which I will get started working that afterwards. And for Penn State, they go against Buffalo, so that's a bounce back game right there, because Buffalo is bottom when it comes to overall, bottom when it comes to offense, bottom when it comes to the points per game at 11.5 per game. So easy win for Penn State. And then the upset of the week being TCU, ranked 18th, just going into Austin, Texas, and just obliterating Texas by a final score of 35-7, which Texas was ranked 5th, so could the curse from NCAA Football 07 be back a year later and a couple years earlier? Yeah, let's find out as we venture on, because for week number 3, Texas is going on the road after UCF, which I don't blame them for going on the road after that performance at home, and TCU going against the Air Force in the Mountain West opener for at least TCU. I'm going to see real quick if that's also the conference open. No, Air Force had their conference opener against Utah last week, so Air Force has the conference advantage right now, but only time will tell on that end. And for Nebraska and Mickey, for week number 3, the Devils went into halftime with a 38-10 lead, in complete control of the game, like the week before against Boston College. But, unlike Boston College, Nebraska actually made some adjustments, but they were still down at the end of the third quarter. They came alive in the fourth, scoring 24 unanswered points, tying the game up, sending it into overtime. But it just wasn't enough, as Mickey was able to score first in overtime, and the Cornhuskers didn't score at all in overtime, and the final score ended up being 48-41 in favor of the Devils. So, Nebraska, they've fallen in the rankings yet again. Well, they've fallen in the rankings, second team to do that against Mickey. Where did they fall? Stay tuned in the next episode. And the last one, Virginia Tech and LSU. LSU just dominated Virginia Tech. They were up 21-0 at halftime. They in video game terms, when someone scores 21 straight points on someone, they skunked them. They skunked them in the first half. I mean, Virginia Tech did score 2 touchdowns in the second half, but sadly it was just one in the third and one in the fourth. LSU scored 10 points, but hey, that first half lead was just enough for them to be able to survive, with the final score being 14-31. And I forgot to cover who both Mickey and Nebraska were facing. So let's cover everybody all together at once. First team I find is LSU. They're going against Middle Tennessee State, who just suffered a pretty big loss to Louisville last week, 55-17. So, yeah, you go up against a team who needed a bounce back game after getting humiliated at home 255 to nothing. They bring you to their place and you lose 55-17 just to go up against the third ranked team in the nation. LSU is still ranked third, by the way, so that didn't change at all. So, yeah, have fun, Middle Tennessee. And the next team that we will find looking through for week number 3 is Mickey going against Army in a matchup where I could see Mickey winning easily. I mean, Army's C- overall. And the only problem for Mickey is their pass defense, but that's also because of the fact of doing the first game for the key games having to be recorded for the most part. But yeah, after just once the momentum meter just got out of hand for one team, I just decided to stop recording and doing this now to replace that, which is a lot easier, a lot quicker, because now I don't have to sit through 5 games, at least 6 if I'm, because I'm doing the McNary Central game too. Ooh, now I can just play my McNary Central game and do this. So yeah, Mickey against Army, 2 undefeated teams heading into week 3. Yeah, let's see how that one turns out though. Nebraska is going against number 1 USC, who had a bye week last week, which I would really like to cover them last week, but now I get a chance to, because hey, I like to cover the number 1 team for at least one key game, you know. And for Virginia Tech, they're going against Ohio, who is 2-0, and probably seeing Virginia Tech as a vulnerable team. Yeah. I don't think Virginia Tech's going to be vulnerable and falling for that little trap. But, yeah, that was all the key games from last week and head into this one. For anybody who actually does care about me doing the whole McNary Central thing, I'm going against Ole Miss. So that's pretty much going to be another easy win. So that's it for this review of week number 2. And I will see you all for week number 3.